Ah, I don't know. I'm screwing even that up. The
Hello.
intro. I screwed it up. I'm sorry. Hello, everyone. Hi, Zuler.
How are you doing?
I'm tired like
See
crazy.
you too. I'm also
Uh,
tired. Everyone is tired.
Why is everyone tired? How's the chat? How is everyone? How was your last weekend, Santiago?
My weekend awful, but overall, I'm getting better.
Are getting better.
Yes, so I'm a little bit sick. I have some weird fever right now.
Did you get a diagnosis for what it is?
No, not really. And
So it's not what you thought it is, maybe.
not. I don't know. Like, not really. Like, I don't have a clue.
Okay. Wow, sunburned and tired. So Decrypt has been spending a lot of time outside or on a sun bench, maybe. I don't know. But that sounds like you've had a good time outdoors somewhere. In any case, so the Marble Matrix, hello, it's doing great.
Hello, Pintown. How are you doing?
To me. So yeah, it's
On the beach, loving life. That's awesome, man.
this
Enjoy.
is nice. Yeah, so I've been at the beach the entire time as well. Of course. So, I mean, obviously, all of you noticed what's been going on. Robot is feeling odd.
Odd.
Yeah,
Can
it's kind of an odd day today. I think after the news that there is a trade deal, or at least a temporary trade deal between U.S. and China. I would have expected Bitcoin to pump more. Maybe that's just basically people taking profit or whatever. But we're not seeing a lot of movement. Gold has gone down dramatically, but S&P, Nasdaq are up like crazy. So I was expecting something more.
we might
I
be
just
overbought a little bit. Like,
a
I
little
think we
bit.
need to go sideways at the moment.
So what is S&P is doing plus 2.6, Dow is doing 2.5, US Tech 100 is doing +3. So yeah, gold is down. So yeah, share portfolio looks good. So that's a good day to spend at the beach, right? Decrypt. If your assets are working for you and you're just basically sitting there enjoying a pina colada, whatever. What's your favorite cocktail, Santiago? What's your favorite cocktail, chat?
The Moscow Mule. That's the best one.
Moscow Mule. Okay.
What about you?
I would probably say whiskey sour.
Whiskey sour. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't think I have tried it before.
it's a very simple drink. Typically consists of
Whiskey.
lemon juice, sugar syrup, and whiskey. It's a very simple one. 3 ingredients, maybe 4 for some who like egg white. I don't. So,
It's
chat.
also okay with an AB. Nice.
EMR. What's EMR?
What is EMR?
I have no idea. Amoria Finance? Is that
What?
shilling a microcap here? Elizabeth? Munich Mule? What's a Munich Mule?
Yeah, I
chat?
was about to ask that.
My brother lives in Munich, but I've never heard of that.
Play to $1. Nice.
Let's get there. Trying to avoid alcohol, but a good whiskey sour or white Russian, dude.
Will Santiago be infected with Wampa virus? I hope not. I'm feeling very bad.
You didn't tell me. I could have left you out of the stream.
No,
I
it's okay.
didn't know.
I couldn't leave the Wombats alone. And I also wanted to talk about the seasonal items, but
Oh yeah, you probably want feedback on that. But everybody's like super hyped about market play coming soon. What is Santiago clicking?
can
What
you
are
even
you
hear
clicking?
my clicks?
Yes, of course, dude.
Everything. You hear everything.
So we've had Decrypt is probably right now having sex on the beach, or a sex on the beach, and Vince likes old fashioned.
So
I've never gotten into old fashions.
You want to click with me? I was taking a look at CoinMarketCap, just for
Share
the
it.
sake of clicking. So I was taking a look at Solana and BNB. Solana during the weekend flipped BNB market cap, but we are down. Again, we have Sui on the 11th place, Chainlink, Avalanche. P, I don't know how P is here, but P is doing good, I guess.
Yeah. What? 130?
Pi.
Pi.
Hyperliquid, Ton.
Even Ton is going up, right?
Where is Wax? I guess.
Where's
let
Wax?
me guess. Last time I checked it, it was 250. Now it should be over.
It's not 250 anymore.
Oh, 350. Oh my god. 100 million market cap. Holy shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a good rally the last few days for Wax, right?
I mean, Wax feels like a stable coin. Like, you know that it will be around 2 cents like the whole life.
Come on, that's a DPAG.
Let's see.
How many people in the chat agree that this is Adrian Emo? I would probably agree with that because I've had a bit of a weekend with very little sleep and a lot of work.
Are you emo? Santiago, you need to buy a cheaper microphone so it's not picking up all the background noise. Yeah, I mean, I use the one of my computer. I actually need to change my computer because it gives me like a blue screen once every month, and it gets very annoying.
I would say don't use a Windows computer, but I'm using Mac, and that I'm not proud.
Mac is terrible. Like, if you like gaming, you cannot have a Mac. That's my take, of course.
Yeah, you can't. That's for sure. So
And it's too small. Like, no, I don't like it.
what? Mac's too
Most
small?
most of the Macs are too small. Okay, so Adrian, I already read the white paper. Still no ratios info. Is this part of the comms strategy? By the way, I like the new max supply, 1 billion. I think Playman will cook.
Cook. Yes, we agree. No, there will not be info until after the launch and until after, because there is no ratios in that sense, right? There's going to be kind of airdrops and not kind of conversions or whatever. So we'll have numbers for you after the launch.
We can check the white paper, don't you think? And the web page. Let me load the stuff. Or you want to do it later?
Dude, I've been spending so much time with the website, the white paper, and all these things that I don't want to look at this at the moment at all.
I mean, at least let me show the website. It's very cool in
Do
my
it.
opinion.
It's all there. It's all public now.
So, guys, yes, the white paper was published yesterday, if I'm not wrong. And this is the website that, in my opinion, it's awesome. I love it.
I love it as well. I think it's
Like,
great.
it's very well done.
It's the best website that we've ever made.
I love it. Launch soon. When is soon? When is soon?
Is soon. Everybody can probably figure it out.
I actually never saw that you were here. What is your birth? Like, you need an updated picture.
Dude, that's so old, the picture. I just still use it everywhere.
Who is behind play? That's nice. I like it.
Better for all.
What do you think, guys?
Yes, it's better for all. Yes, Stoß. I know. I need a newer picture. Just take a screenshot of me here and use that. Right.
We have to do a quick poll, either Team Mac or Team Windows. What radio will that be? I guess it is 1 to 5. 1 to 4, maybe.
Paul, whether you like Mac or Windows better, or whether you have a Mac or Windows?
Whether you have.
Yeah, okay. Then, yeah, I guess it's going to be something like that.
It will be cool to see the Wax USDC wearing daily accurate up to 4 to 5 decimal places. Yes. We had a lot of stuff on the pipeline, but this is... I already created the ticket and everything, so we should address this soon. So the problem is that on the rewards we have 0.00 USDC, only 2 decimals, and some people earn a little bit less than that, so they feel demotivated when they earn 0.002 and it doesn't show.
I get that. Yeah, obviously before with Wombat it wasn't that critical because the denomination is smaller. So yeah.
So let's talk about something that we should talk about. The shop. What will happen once Play launches and we will have to do a lot of changes?
We will.
So I would like
to...
Sorry?
So are you asking me, or do you want to tell a story?
I think we have to ask the community, because the token won't be available at the same moment it launched on the shop.
Yeah, because we need to bridge it and stuff, right?
Exactly.
So
until
honestly,
then,
it's hard to gauge how long that's actually going to take.
Yes.
That's so we have an idea, but we don't want to make promises. So because it's not us doing it actively, especially not 2x.
So what should we do? Shall we stop? I have two options at the moment. I'm not saying they are good. I am saying what I'm thinking at the moment. First, we pause all the sales in the in-game shop that have Wombat involved. Or second, we release them but double the resources price instead of the Wombat price. What happened?
So yeah, I mean, right now, so long as the price of Wombat doesn't drop dramatically, right? Or it doesn't go up dramatically, there's no immediate action that we have to do, because obviously people will still want to buy these items that are in the shop. That's what I assume, right? And if you want to remove them, you would have to give people a heads up that, hey, well, we're going to be removing this item from the shop, so that they can buy now and enjoy later, right? So I think that's crucial, that everybody knows what's going on.
Tell more about Playmind to the people who
Oh,
still
yeah.
think it's just a name change and nothing else.
So yeah, there's a lot in Playmind, right? So I love to talk about this. It's just that, forgive me if I'm not 100% like super lively today, because it's been really rough. But so the idea is in general about Playmind, that Playmind is the extension of the ecosystem that you see, right? So that's the next kind of logical step. We're moving into AI. Playmind is the first step of Playmind is that we're building a protocol to aggregate, capture, and make available data, right? And this data is play data of people who play games. So a lot of kind of behavioral data, what you input, what like your user inputs, your player inputs, and what you see on the screen, at least in a certain way, right? So that data, then when it's aggregated and tagged, and we have metadata for this, so we kind of understand what's been going on, right? Then this data can be used to train AIs, right? So, for instance, that can be used to train AI agents. Deep learning algorithms can basically understand, okay, this is what's happening on the screen, and this is what the user has, or this is what users have input at this point, right? So it can derive from that what should it input into a game in order to achieve XYZ effect, right? So that's basically that kind of data will work really well with these kinds of models, right? To interpret what's going on and what should be done, right? Because it's, in the end, it's all statistical models. So that's cool. That's that we'll see that work quite nicely. And obviously, there's already AI agents playing games and whatnot, that have been trained with like screencasts and whatnot, right? YouTube videos, whatever it is. So that's totally going to be possible, right? And so then what we want to offer is a little bit of a toolkit, and the marketplace where people can basically train agents and basically rent them out or sell them to others who want to use them as an NPC or whatever in games that they play, that they like, right? So then the people who have created the data, the people who have trained the AIs, and the creators of the games will all get a share of the money that's being spent on basically using these AI agents, right? Or in general, actually, it's going to be possible to buy or license data from people who have created it, and a portion of the proceeds from selling this will always go to all these parties, right? The creators of the data, like the players who have been capturing this data, then the creators of the game, like I said, then the portion will go to the Playmind protocol and so on. Okay, so that's kind of what we call in the white paper, we call it stage 2, right? Stage 1 is kind of what we have. Stage 2 is, okay, we built this protocol, we integrate it with games, we start collecting a ton of data, so we will know kind of which games are played how, and at least from a kind of pure data perspective, that's what we're going to have, right? And then what we hope hope maybe is a little bit of a weak word for this, but what we're looking to do is essentially then be able to allow people to basically create entire games. I mean, we're not necessarily talking Fortnite or PUBG or World of Warcraft type of game, right? At least not at first, but it would be so cool if then we can use this data to actually train AIs to build games, right? so that you can basically say, hey, I want, and that's already, like, in a way already possible, right? You can go to Grok or ChatGPT and say, hey, give me a game concept for Tetris versus Space Invaders clone or remix or whatever, right? Mashup. And it will create a game concept, and then you can input that game concept and basically say, okay, write the code to do that, right? And then in this whatever framework, let's say, right? And then something will come out, and then you can deploy this and can play this. So that's already a reality. The problem is that right now these games suck, right? They don't look good. They're not very special, and then and they are not balanced and whatnot, right? So that's one problem. The other thing that other people are currently working on is essentially AI-based game creators, where you get all the assets created, right? And that's also cool, right? You get this you basically have a toolkit that basically says, okay, what kind of game do you want to make, right? So where's the set? Who are the characters playing or starring in this? What should they be able to do? What's the visual style? What kind of music do you want to hear, right? And then obviously with each individual part that can be generated by AI as well, right? You can generate scenes, you can generate characters, you can animate characters, you can create the music, the sound, whatever. All of that is possible. It's possible to create that with AI individually, right? And then obviously it's also you can combine that into something that then works, right? But then what's missing is kind of the game logic and the game kind of overall concept, the business logic there, and so on, right? So if we can combine all these dots, and that's definitely going to be possible, and that's kind of what I would find really, really cool to build, and that's precisely why I want to build this, right? Is that every player in our app, every user can basically go and say, hey, I've always had this idea for this game, right? And I talked to a lot of people who want to do that, right? Who want to make a game, but they don't know how, and it's expensive. And it's like, oh yeah, but I would have to hire a team to build this. It's going to cost me $5,000 to $10,000, right? And that's exactly where I should come in, not in basically creating a 100% polished AAA style game, right? But in experimenting with ideas, just like modding communities have been basically the creators of every single genre of games, basically, right? That are big now for the last 10, 15, 20 years. Like pretty much all of these games, League of Legends or Dota or Counter-Strike or whatever, right? All these game concepts, these basic game concepts, basically were created by modders or by people who basically had access to a game creating tool or map creation tool or whatever, right?
That's right.
So, and this is so amazing. It's basically from the ground up. I actually met a few years ago. I met the guy who was outside of the actual creator of Dota 1. He was the first guy to actually be in Dota, right? The original Dota that was basically a mod, right? Of Warcraft. So he was like, he told me the story about it, right? And it was really cool. It still rings in my head, right? And this is precisely where all the creativity that there's a lot of people who have that creativity, right? But they just don't know how to make this happen from a technical perspective. And this is awesome, all right? This is where I will be entirely awesome. We're not looking to replace the entire gaming industry. Right, because there's still going to be a lot of games that people want to basically enjoy by making by like make big games, proper games, awesome games, Expedition 33 type games, right? And that's the big hype right now. But it's about kind of testing out new ideas, being able to deploy them really quickly, being able to iterate over them really quickly at super low cost, super low effort, super fast, right? It's not necessarily like, oh yeah, you type in half a sentence and this is the perfect game, right? But it's like the idea is that you can basically have a moderated process where you basically just prompt your way to can be at first can be a little game, can be something, oh, we just do platformers, or we just do puzzle games at the beginning, right? or just card games or board games or whatever, right? Can be very limited at the beginning, and then go and expand from there, because ultimately you want to open up kind of you want to open up this to basically endless creativity, right? And whether we want it or not, AI will be doing a lot of that, a lot of heavy lifting. And it's just so I just imagine it would be so cool if there was just this endless stream of games that people that they're basically super easy to make, right? And there's an infinite amount of them because they are so easy to make, and we don't have to worry about, oh, is that going to be is that just ads or whatever, right? So I think that's going to be really cool, and this is where I think AI will unlock a lot, and then we can combine that obviously with Web3 economies, and there can be NFTs and tokens in these games and whatnot, right? So eventually there can be little game launches because you kind of made a really cool game, and then you launch a token for this and drop some NFTs and whatnot, and boom, right? You are also the owners of this. So yeah, I could talk a lot about this for hours, but I think so that's what Playmind is, right? That's where we're going with all this. That's where we were building the foundation for years. That we have a lot of what it takes to get there, right? And now we're essentially just we just keep going. We just move into the next kind of era in what we've been doing, and I think Playmind is also a good brand for this, because it's so descriptive of things, right? And people will understand what it is really easily once they see kind of the final products.
So Ansi says, I am happy. Oh my god. I'm happy to see Play kicking off after a long wait. I really hope the team will have a successful launch. We really want Play to do well. Yeah, everyone. I think you guys deserve it.
Thanks, Anzi. Yeah, obviously we want this to do well as well. So it's been a long ride, right? And many of you have been along with us on this, and so I think we deserve this to do well. And now the market's looking like it will allow for launches to do well as well. And so let's hope nothing really crazy happens within the next days and weeks, obviously. But if you believe what hello dog, if you believe what I've been watching this video by Rule Pal, the talk that he gave at the SUI base camp. If you discount for all the SUI related stuff in there, I think it's great, because it basically just says, while the cycles in crypto are not based off of halvings or whatever, it's liquidity cycles, global liquidity cycles, and if we believe that, then global liquidity is reaching a new all-time high. So or has reached a new all-time high, and there's that's a trailing indicator. So we'll be doing extremely fine. So we'll be entering the banana zone. So
the banana zone?
The banana zone.
What is that?
Well, where the curve looks like a banana. the chart.
Your dog is just like mine. His name is Tibu. Say hi, Tibu. Like, he's the one that barks all the time.
Don't you have a cage or something?
Dude, no. What? Don't listen to that, Tim. Good thing he doesn't speak English. Otherwise, he will be mad.
Oh, this is an interesting one by CLI. Is this new token, will this affect the other chains like Polygon, or any plan to remove our token from Polygon mainnet? Why would we remove that? And Santiago and I are having constant discussions about this, because right now I think Polygon is in a really bad shape. Not from an ecosystem point of view. Obviously, from a price point of view, you could argue that, but it's just not been working for me.
It was judging you. Don't say bad things about Polygon.
I'm just being objective here because I don't. It's not like I dislike Polygon. I'm just saying it's not been working for me. Right? You open Polygon Scan, doesn't work. You submit a transaction, gas estimate is wrong, takes days. Right? It's just crazy.
Dude.
So Rising Dragons, I'll try to find your question.
Blockchain somewhere up there. Let me see. I saw it. This.
So wherever we'll launch, you will know super soon when we launch, and then we'll bridge to all other chains where we currently have use for Wombat, right? Yeah, so you don't have to worry; it's going to be available everywhere. Simply because we didn't want to kind of rebuild everything, right? That would have been the alternative. That hey, let's say Wax, right? Let's not launch it on Wax, or let's not launch it on Polygon, and then what, right? Because then we have whatever, we have a lot of NFTs and NFT staking in Dungeon Master, and then but we don't have the token there, and we had a lot of Wombat token stakers. So if Wombat they can't get their tokens out, right? They can't move them anywhere. So what do we do with like servicing people with tokens on Polygon? So we decided to basically be anywhere where Wombat was, Play will also be, right? At least certain amounts, at least with a certain amount of liquidity and so on. So that's going to be covered, right? Beyond that, we are pretty sure, and we mentioned Base in the white paper. I mentioned Solana, right? There's ecosystems where there's a lot going on when it comes to AI, when it comes to gaming, when it comes to also pure kind of liquidity or trading or whatever, right? So we want to be, because we will have the bridging happening anyway, right? We can also bridge to everywhere else, and wherever we have tech running, we'll also have the token.
Is it me, or is your screen, like your video, sometimes odd?
My video is odd. I don't know.
Yeah, like you're freezing from time to time.
I don't see myself freezing.
You should blame Elon Musk.
I'm hot. I'm on fire.
So I think we should talk about this. Like, we're talking about the launch of Play and how everyone is doing their max efforts for this to be a success. What do we need from the community for Play to be a success?
Was that a question here?
It's a question for you, yes.
Okay.
What do you need from the community right now?
Just be excited. Honestly, just be in for the ride. You know us, right? We're here. We've been here, right? We're here every Monday, but also we've always been public about our intentions and what we want to do and why, right? And that's not always the best possible way, and sometimes we make mistakes, obviously, and but we're here to basically stand up and explain and get your feedback. So just be excited and share your excitement, right? And share with others, share publicly, and if we make mistakes, don't run away. Don't be angry at us. Like, you can be upset, of course, right? And then come here and talk to us, but don't just like quit or whatever, because it's going to be a very intense future, right? Especially the very near future, around launch, after launch, and so on. That's going to be very intense. There's going to be things that don't work out according to plan. There's going to be things that that will work very well, right? So just be here, be in on it, Be excited about it because it's going to be really cool. We're doing this together with all of you, right? Just like we've been doing. If you remember how we built like all of Dungeon Master, basically what Dungeon Master was and what it became was basically I would say 70-80% driven by the people playing it, the people being here, the people being in the chats and so on, not just by one person sitting in a dark room or whatever, and just trying to find out how blah 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 XYZ should work, right? So a lot of the features, a lot of how we've been building things, that has been driven by all of you. So we want to continue this. So we need your feedback. We need you to be there. We need you to be present. And I'll always will blame everything on Santiago.
Like he does.
Of course not.
Yeah, I'll ask you these guys. Twitter and X is very important. So if you're happy about it, make sure to spread the word. Every tweet that we have within the time frame of the launch, make sure to like it, retweet it, tag friends, save the tweet for later. That helps a lot with engagement. So make sure to also help us spread the word about it. That's my request. Like, make sure to be active and make everyone know that this is an active community.
Right.
Like you are, because you're a very active community. It was funny because every time something fails within Dungeon Master, like 20 people come out and start asking like, what happened? Why is this not working? And when we started the season this time, nothing went wrong. So no one came out. Like, the chat was silent, and I was like, okay. I guess they were running.
Is that a good sign or a bad sign, right? You don't know. Yeah, I think that's the most important thing, right? We whatever we do, whatever we do, we don't do things to whatever. I mean, I've been saying this, and sometimes in Web3 you have to say this because people accuse you of something else, right? But again, we do this to guarantee all of our joint success, right? We launch Play, we're building things, and we want to be successful together. It's not about whatever getting rich quickly or whatever, right? If this was a rug or whatever, this would be the stupidest possible whatever rug or whatever, right? Because hey, I'm fully doxxed, you know my name, you know my face, right? And then I've been doing this for more than 7 years. And
7 years?
Yes, I've been running this company for more than 7 years. So it's all about continuing to build.
No, I guess it is also part of what I like. I don't know who I was talking with. It was someone from the community, but for example, when I got fucked over on Star Atlas or on I Love You, you didn't have anyone to talk to. And for example, I can come here and shout everything I want to you every Monday, and you'll have to reply sooner or later.
Yes, but I had this one thought. Now I forgot. But it's also what I have maybe neglected a little bit is, and that was specifically last year, and I kind of rediscovered that a little bit. What I neglected a little bit is what is it that I think is good, right? Because me being the founder and the CEO, obviously, I should have a significant influence on what we do, what the direction is, right? This is understatement, but so I should know. I should actually direct this. Okay, so I make a lot of the calls, right? Many of the calls that are being made in this company ultimately come back to me, and basically, I need to give direction and so on, right? And then sometimes, especially like throughout the last 12, 16, 18 months, whatever, sometimes I lost that touch with, is that what I'm convinced of, or is that because somebody is telling me this is better, right? And I think with what we're doing here, there's a lot of. I'm actually convinced that this is the right thing, right? And I may be wrong, right? Or that may not fit everybody's opinion or whatever. But this is basically just getting back to this where we were before, right? Not do this because that's hot in the market right now, right? Because that's never going to work. And this is what I had some really fascinating discussions about. Well, also the white paper, what should be in there, what should not be in there, like how bold do you want to be. And it's funny because I was like with one of our advisors, I was telling him the story how I used to have this unshakable confidence, right? This kind of, yeah, of course. I mean, of course we'll do that, right? Of course that's doable. Of course we'll be able to do that. And then at some point, I kind of, yeah, I don't know. It became more of a, yeah, but maybe, but this is a problem, right? So I started kind of finding or defying my own conviction, right? And I think now I'm going back to being more the true Adrian, more the true myself, and basically being convinced about things, and basically like understanding, okay, we need, like, if we want to do this badly enough, then we'll just do it, right? And we can basically do anything, right? It's just important that we all are on the same page, and that if whoever doesn't feel like that's a good fit for them, okay, they can decide not to be on that journey, right? But we don't have to jump on kind of tiny little bits here and there and just try to scoop everything up and be distracted. But we can just basically just build what we want to build, right?
I think it's also part that when you have a lot of things behind you on your back, you sometimes, not you, but people often start playing to not lose instead of playing to win. So that's something that could happen when you care too much. And that's why some of the decisions that for an instance might be too obvious, then you start double thinking and delaying those decisions. For everyone, guys, start playing to win and not playing to not lose.
I love this. I love this term. Actually, that's also what I wanted to put that on the Twitter bio as well, because we, while building and thinking of Playmind and basically developing all the white paper and all the concepts and so on, we came across this term, data royalties, and like we really want to like. I like the basic concept of this, the basic thought, and we don't have to go into too much detail today, but so that's going to be something where, like, at some point, if you read about data royalties, we have invented this. It's not like you don't find anything about it yet. So I think that's cool. So that it just reminds me of this Slack poll, or this Slack poll thing reminds me of that, because sounds like we just came up with a this year teach young FBI agents about the Slack poll. It's just you building everything up. You're just pretending for 10 years. It's like the Shawshank Redemption, right? You basically you pretend like you're not doing anything, like you're super harmless, but in the background you're basically just building everything up to rug after 20 years or whatever. It's like the total Shawshank Redemption kind of thing.
Where is your Slug profile picture coming from? Adrian is so high on caffeine.
Yeah, caffeine is one part, but also like general high levels of adrenaline, I would say, ever since we started pushing this forward on Friday. Right, ever since you started seeing stuff happening on Discord, on Twitter, and so on.
So guys, say something. Be more active.
No, they're here.
More questions. I think we ran out of questions. Okay, let's discuss.
No, we didn't. I think there's still a bunch. What's your?
I want to address this because a lot of people, and you put a star in it. A lot of people send me a screenshot about this.
I actually was discussing the price with Santiago, right? Because I was like, oh damn, well, I don't play enough to actually need need stamina gear, right? So I won't use it. I just bought 10 boxes, or whatever boxes, right? And I opened them, and comes out a mythic, and I was like, oh shit, what am I not going to do with this? So I could have raffled it out. I probably should have. And then I thought, but if I want to sell it as a fair price, what is a fair price, right? So effectively, what we came up with after a little bit of discussion is, okay, what would this cost if you blended this up from comments, right? And what's the fair price? And then I didn't want to dump the market with this, right? I just thought, okay, I
You
don't want
don't
to
on us.
go like 50 times this, right? Because whatever. So yeah, this is I thought that's fair, but this got bought really quickly. So now I have to live with that. I was just a consumer who bought some boxes, opened them, and didn't need the didn't need the items that are in there.
So I
It's very
actually have
innocent.
the numbers of how many seasonal items are equipped. Let's
Say
take
it.
a look. How many do you think?
100.
100. Okay. Let's wait for the API. It's taking a little bit. Okay. So the total is 121.
Oh, look at define the dollars
He
estimate
was
here.
close.
Wow.
Out of them, 41 are mythic, 22 are legendary, 22 are epic, 16 are rare, and 20 are common. Interesting. Do you think, guys, that the game has changed? The leaderboard has changed a little bit with these changes? Like, what are your impressions so far? Price is right.
Closes without going over.
Actually, now that I have this spreadsheet open, let's take a look at gems.
Look at this. Don't forget Captain Adrian's not just hanging out in taverns, which would be nice life though. He's actually navigating the MS Wombat on the seven seas since 7 years between Scylla and Charybdis. Exactly. And then this I like as well. I didn't actually. It's been so freaking long since I last watched the movie. It used to be one of my favorites, and I also read the book, the whatever. It's the novel, right? The Stephen King thing. Hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. Ah, nice.
Your price from last stream. I'm not in charge of sending them, but they should have been sent.
I think this was that a sorry, was that the Twitchy Tides thing? Then all of this should now I see. The problem is that no, there shouldn't be a problem. You should have gotten them, but
Pep's got amazing gear for peanut price, but they don't know how to utilize it. I mean, it's part of the game, getting to know how to use your gear. My payout has been cut by 1/6. Yeah, something important that we should address is that we're not going to release stamina reduction gears every season. For you guys to be aware. Maybe we should have started with a different seasonal item, one that is not so much controversial.
Yes, it's that's what I thought after last week's discussion here. To be honest, I was like, no, this is really too controversial. I'm just trying to find out if this stuff has been sent to you, CLI.
Controversy brings conversation. Yeah, I mean, the first goal that I have, and I need you guys to understand this so you can help me take the game where we want it, is the game needs to feel more seasonal. If we continue going the same way and the same path we have right now, every season is the same. If you have the same items, you can run. It doesn't matter if there is a season break because nothing changes at all. If you have the items, you can run. That's it. The game needs to be more seasonal in the sense that some collections might change, the mining power for you might change. You might be performing very well in one season, but the next one might not benefit you at all. We need to create these micro metas within the game for you guys, for the game to be more dynamic. After all,
I agree. Like from a obviously also from a like how interesting is the game perspective, right? Because in the end, it's still a game, right? It's not only about yeah. Obviously, for many of you, we understand that it's a lot about making money or earning, of course, but it's also about kind of keeping it interesting and also for new players to have a chance of actually getting there. I see, CLI, you've actually not received your stuff. This is horrible. So we'll definitely fix that. Maybe I'll just do it myself.
that is okay for the next 200 seasons so I can hit Roy. I mean, the changes we do is so we can improve the game for you to not have to grind during 200 seasons. And if you're affected out of the 7 to 8 seasons we have per year, then that can happen. But the next seasonal item might actually benefit you. And that's what we are trying to achieve. Like, the game should be seasonal.
Item or items?
Oh, you want to talk about that?
I don't know. That's a question to you. Is there always going to be just one type of item? Is there always going to be like, oh yeah, this season it's stamina reduction, next season it's more money, whatever?
The current idea we have is for next season to include 2 items. One of them will be chosen by you. So we will have
yes.
By you, yes. So during mid-season, you will have a poll in which you will be able to decide what kind of item you want.
For next season?
For next season, yes. For season 25. 26.
Yeah, I just want to quickly send out this promo box.
I have been talking with Beantown and Mr. LT about the Overlord because this is also something that I don't like at all. Like, every time it's the same. The Overlord chosen selects Prime X. Maybe there is a weird season in which it doesn't, but overall that's the rule. So how do we make the Overlord more attractive? I was thinking, maybe the Overlord can boost 2 collections. Or maybe instead of 2 collections, the Overlord can boost any collection, but there will be a cooldown for collections. So if you chose Wombat Prime X, then you cannot choose it the next season, and you will have to change it.
Or there's one on each chain that you can boost.
Or there's one on each chain. That's another one. Or the Overlord will be able to deboost a collection and apply a 20% penalty on it, so everyone can hate on the Overlord.
Nice.
What do you think? Bonus token gear or booster will be the best for next season, in my opinion. Yeah, you will be able to vote about it. That's something I was checking. Actually, this can be done. The problem is when. So if we actually want to be able to deliver lakes, we don't have this much time to be able to do these small changes. I mean, and they're not small. You need to add some code to it to be able to do what you want.
This specifically, I think, is pretty horrible. From a code perspective, having spoken to the team about similar things in the past, This might actually involve massive changes.
I mean, I love it. Oh, for it seems to be possible because we did some changes that might help to do it, but we will have to study further. I agree with Ansel, like making enemies on a scale. Like the overlord should be powerful. Should be
I don't
relevant.
disagree.
Sorry?
I don't disagree.
Rising Dragon says, I suggested about a cooldown once. Adrian completely said there's nothing wrong in that, and now Solar wants. Well, that's good actually, because it means we bring different perspectives to the table. Me saying we have an idea doesn't mean we're going to apply it. And most of the time,
yeah, because I call the shots. No, it's not like that.
Most of the time, Adrian respects what I believe is going to be good. Wasn't into slogan nerf for nothing. Good one.
That's a slogan?
You don't know about nerf, right? Those pistols that you have.
Sure, I know, but yeah. I don't know the slogan.
It's nerf or nothing. That's the slogan, actually.
Okay. Yeah, no. My kids have a bunch of Nerf guns, but they use them way too little. I don't know.
I got one Nerf gun that it was so insane. Like my uncle bought it to me. It was like one Nerf gun that costed like $200, and it was so huge, and it was like a submachine gun. That was one of the best moments of my life. Like when I got that as a gift, I was just shooting my sister around like all the time.
Yeah, it's super fun. It's what's not fun is if your kids play with them, then picking up and finding all the, how do you call them, arrows.
Oh, that's not fun. But the fun part about what my uncle bought me, I was so happy to play it with my friends, and when I got to show it, they didn't allow me to play with it because it was too OP. So I didn't play to it with my friends. I got to use a normal gun.
A normal gun.
Yeah, normal.
This is actually funny. I mean, obviously, we always make fun of this as well, but I can't remember how often I told Santiago, "Really, it's your decision." In the last weeks and months, right?
Always.
So that's what I always tell you. It's like I give you my input on XYZ and my honest opinion, and sometimes we disagree. And then I said, it's your call, because you will have to sit here in the stream or on Discord or wherever and justify your decision. And then it shouldn't be my decision that you just adopted, that you then have to justify and say, oh, but Adrian said it's better like that, and now it's not, right? If it's your decision, at least you can defend it and you can stand up for it. If it's my decision, then you would feel like crap all the time. Oh, Adrian said I need to do it like that, and now I've done it like that, and I'm getting heat from the community, and I don't feel like accepting this anymore, right? And so this is kind of a general guideline that if somebody is supposed to own something, they need to be able to own it. So there's a lot of things that actually Santiago, a lot of decisions that Santiago made that I was not 100% convinced about, right? And that's totally fine. I love that, right? It's not about what I think, whether this item should be blue or green, right? It's about what works and what we believe it will work.
I don't know why you remember that for the seasonal items you told me the mythic is too pink, and I was like, yeah, I should change it.
I just told you what my opinion was.
Adrian said Drag 14 should get a special prize this season.
Adrian said that. Are VIP 7 still getting the Ruby boxes?
Yes.
Ruby boxes? Yes. There was one thought that we had as well, right? Is yeah, we'll get to that in a second. That we could put the seasonal items, or a lot more, or a good portion of the seasonal items, into the boxes, into the Well of Wealth or whatever, right? Well of Wealth sometimes is a bit difficult because it's very deep down. Then you will not have a lot of benefit from the seasonal items. But if they get distributed at the beginning of the season, can a portion of this be part of the season pass pack? Can this be part of the promo boxes or Ruby boxes, the VIP boxes, or the shadow boxes, whatever, right? Can this be a separate thing that we basically airdrop to VIPs, to certain VIPs, maybe only to VIP level 2s and 3s don't get that, whatever, right? So that this can become a part of that if we have kind of a routine for this. It's difficult to kind of keep changing, keep reintroducing all these boxes, right? But maybe we'll just find a way. Again, this is a consideration. This is not a decision, right?
Yes.
So we always have to be very clear about this. Just because we say something, or I got up an idea, or Santiago puts up an idea here, doesn't mean that, oh, this is set, this is a decision. You please expect that tomorrow, right? Don't ever expect anything.
So Vinton is asking, with the incoming new token, do you think now will be a good time to revalue the VIP levels?
Definitely. It's definitely a good time.
Consumer Break, I hope you're still here. Thank you, Rickman. I agree with you, Ansi. I am so disappointed about the last Overlord blend. Like, it was sold out within 40 minutes. And
what can we do? What can we, like, I mean, obviously we've been applying the same type of logic now for a while, right? That we treat certain items as certain NFTs as lottery tickets of sorts, and whoever gets lucky first will have it. But the very, very original idea of the golden key was that it's hard to obtain and might be subject to some kind of a quest journey, right? So if you've watched Ready Player One, right? This was inspired by, like, the golden key was inspired by, isn't that called the golden key in Ready Player One as well, or the golden keys?
Yeah, it was a golden key.
That this is kind of, oh, you need to race, and then you need to shoot, and then you need to jump, and then you need to run, or whatever, right? So putting in hurdles so that we basically narrow down the field, and then right, one of these 6, or beast games, right? Beast games. It's like this was so stupid. Whoever has watched Beast Games, but it was Santiago left. But this is the type of kind of questing stuff, right? Or Squid Game, whatever, without dying, obviously. So this is how Overlord should be determined every single time, like an assessment center of sorts. No worries. It was not Santiago sending it. It was me. Rising Dragons, I like your thinking. Only the Wombat token goes away. We will still have the names Wombat for the app and Wombat Dungeon Master for the game, right? Playmind app could be a thing, but Playmind Dungeon Master could be a disaster. Yes, exactly. So we're considering how to position the Wombat app in the future going forward, right, with regards to Playmind. But what I really don't think is that Wombat Dungeon Master will ever be rebranded to Playmind Dungeon Master or anything like that. So I don't know what happened. Oh, there he is. He's coming back.
Hello.
What happened? Did you accidentally switch off your computer?
I closed the Brave browser window by mistake.
There you go. That's the mistake. You're using Brave.
Don't you like it?
I used to like it. I just think that they went the wrong path at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't use it because I get paid, but I actually like the adblock. So I shouldn't use it because it is based on Chrome and it uses a lot of RAM.
Dude, I still use Chrome, even though I'm on a Mac and I have very limited RAM. So I actually should be using Firefox. It's just that I used to use Firefox back in the day, and then I switched to Chrome at some point, and I never wanted to switch back somehow.
Firefox feels so old.
Right? It almost feels like Internet Explorer.
Edge. It is now Edge.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I said. That's why I said the old one. I'm so we could also talk about Mozilla, right? Mozilla, it was originally.
I don't get to highlight any comments because I left by mistake. So will one day the Overlord be non-transferable, like say with the wallet Tartaria? I don't think so. I don't think we should go this path, to be honest. Like
it would make it a little spicier.
I like the idea that you can tokenize it and actually sell your Overlord position.
Yeah, just get lucky, right? Luck out. And,
I mean, if I were to make the calls and without the community's backlash, I will actually make it so the Overlord gets to choose 1 or 2 collections to boost. He also gets to choose 1 collection to deboost. And there will be collection cooldowns. So you cannot choose the same collection every season.
Maspaz, what do you mean for revalue? The VIP will be for the new players only? No. What I think Beantown Bob was referring to, and what definitely makes sense, is reevaluate how many tokens are needed to stake for a particular VIP level, right? So yeah, is it 200,000 for VIP level, 200,000 wombat for VIP level 5, or is it 10,000 or 1 million, whatever, right? And this would have made sense with the wombat token if we had done it properly right from the get-go. And that was the goal originally, that if the token price goes up or down dramatically, that we could readjust the levels. So at least what we can do now is basically readjust them so that they make more sense, right? Right now we have a lot of high-level VIPs, right? And it was very cheap to get in to become a VIP level 6 or 7 or 5 even during times when the token was really, really cheap. And that's that's on one hand normal, but at the same time, it would have been nicer if when the token price goes down a lot, then we reevaluate that and we basically say, okay, now that the token price is, let's say, a third of the of what it was, let's say 2 months ago, then we double or triple the requirements to actually stake. The only thing that we would have to do is basically keep people or have people who stake before basically retain their VIP status until, for instance, there's the restaking or whatever, right? So yeah.
This is interesting. Can it be made such that the next seasonal item hunt happens during the season break? Or is it too early? This could happen. I'm not against it.
I mean, if we actually do the poll during mid-season and we already know which ones we will have, right, then we can obviously introduce them early on.
Yes.
It may make sense. It also makes sense because then at least you know what your setup is going to be at the beginning of the season, right? So you can take care of that during off season.
I wanted to ask, how did Rising Dragons knew that Pedro was in a meeting?
Meeting?
But this should be only for new players. Oh, this is a good question. You can answer it. Actually, I wanted to ask this many times, but I always forgot about it. Is Dungeon Master part of Playmind? Will Dungeon Master be a part of Playmind in the future?
So we are not planning to rebrand Wombat Dungeon Master to Playmind Dungeon Master, right? So we just we had that question a few minutes ago. Outside of that, I'm not sure entirely what you mean, but it's like the company is still called Spielworks, right? Maybe we'll rename at some point, but we already renamed the company. Most people don't actually know that, but the company used to be called Chainwise originally.
Chainwise.
Yeah, because it was a blockchain company, right? And then we gave the company a different gist, because originally we were like a blockchain company that happened to do gaming, and then we wanted to rebrand it a gaming company that happens to do blockchain, right? So that's why we changed from something chain to something spiel, game, whatever.
When we will
But
know the new conditions for the VIP?
you will know. I'm gonna be nasty. You will know when we tell you.
Dude,
Uh, no, it's gonna
that's
be
not
very.
helpful at all.
I know. But that's why I gave you that disclaimer that I'm gonna be nasty. Um,
You
uh,
nasty boy.
so in general, what we need to see is basically we want this to be fair, right? So we will want to see kind of where we end up, right? So if we said, for instance, oh, VIP level 7 is going to be 1 million play, right? And then play goes to $1, as suggested by somebody earlier, then that's suddenly $1 million. I don't think so, right? So we'll have to make this dependent on the performance and on how the entire airdrop actually, the entire launch actually goes.
If Wombat is a country, Dungeon Master is the capital of that country. That's a good one.
That's so interesting, because when I was whenever I speak to different people in the community, I always get a different impression from every single person, right? There's like, oh yeah, your flagship product is OnePlay, clearly, right? Like, okay, interesting thought, right? And some people think it's Wombat, and some people think it's Dungeon Master. It's very interesting. So now maybe some people think it's Playmind. So we have to become better at branding all this so that everyone knows what the actual thing is.
Why wouldn't you do VIP on a seasonal basis to fit with the item mindset? Why would you auto redeem it?
So that's a very interesting thought.
You're gone.
Oh yeah, sorry, I had to lean back to think about it. Nah, that can create heavy swings for the token price, though, right? So if people are not happy, they would basically say, screw it, or this is too expensive for me now, or token price has actually gone up, and so now I want to sell because blah blah blah. So I'm not sure I like this kind of very seasonal thing, because it's going to be very very volatile every new season. But there is a good portion to this, because I mean, this is kind of what we have with the vault, right? In the vault, you keep your tokens.
I'm sorry. It's the fever. I don't know why I'm laughing about this.
Me neither. Okay. I don't know. It's still this. So Wombat Dungeon Master is still the capital, then, right? But anyway, so what I was getting to is in the vault, right? You get a benefit for next season or the seasons after. So there's always been kind of a notion that I like, is when staked tokens or health tokens or whatever produce some kind of points, score, whatever you want to call that. That's not a token, right? It's could be a token, doesn't have to be, but some kind of resource that's usable for certain things, right? So I can imagine that we could do something like this, right? That that maybe there's So, for instance, for votes, right? Maybe it's not kind of how many tokens you hold, but it's how many points you've gathered, and this depends on the number of the amount of tokens staked, or something like that. So your tokens your stake tokens would produce points. So it's like we've done with to a certain extent we've done with the airdrops on the airdrop page at some point.
That makes Solar feel like a feudal lord. My Peace and Uprising is looking more apropos by the day. You're too weak at the moment. You need to gather more support.
I wanted to.
What?
Oh, what is this?
I'm doing a giveaway.
No,
So if you already follow the Playmine protocol, then participate in the giveaway. I'm giving away 50 USDC. Like, make sure if you already follow them, just put done, and I'll make sure that you follow it. That's it.
I was gonna just get back to this because I know the feeling. Sure, worst children's toy is the Playmobil Meerkat family because it comes with literally hundreds of tiny plastic chips of meerkat food that end up everywhere in the home. It's like that with a lot of Lego sets as well. When there's oh, look at that. My kids apparently collected peas. Because we have peas growing in our garden, and they harvested a lot because it's going to be dinner.
Peas.
What? Peas are delicious.
No, it's true.
So I know the feeling with all kinds of toys where there's like my little son likes garbage trucks and these kinds of things, and they often come with garbage, right? And this stuff is everywhere. So yeah, I can relate. When Play comes out, will our staked Wombat tokens be transferred to our wallets? No. Your staked Wombat tokens will remain staked until you unstake them. Getting back to Overlords, burning tons of unused NFTs is a good recycling for Overlord, but it should be dynamic and not the same thing over and over again. Fragments are too obvious.
I agree. Yes, they get both Shark and Whales one page from every season. Peace with curry bueno.
Yeah, I think we'll have some. So I have a question. You like potatoes, right? Because you're Ecuadorian. So is the potato actually from Ecuador, or is it from Chile or from Bolivia?
I think it is from Peru.
Oh, Peru. Because yes. I think there's always this fight where it's actually originally from, right?
I haven't. I guess there are some people that feel proud calling the potato that it is from their country.
Okay.
I don't. So I don't really know. I know that Peru has a wide variety of potatoes, and some of them are like a superfood. So that's good. I'm proud that encebollado is from our country. That's what I have to say.
Proud that what?
Encebollado. It's one of the best soups in the world, according to some people.
Is this thing that everything goes into?
No, that's fanesca.
Okay.
I'll show you a picture. It's delicious. It's one of my favorite dishes. Oh my god, this picture is terrible. Wait.
Potatoes are the best. I love potatoes. With just
take a look at this. It's done with fish. So it's a stew of fish with onions. You put some lemon on it. It is delicious. If you ever come to Ecuador, then you gotta try this.
Nice. It looks a little bit like. No, I'm not gonna say that.
Radioactive.
It's a little bit like ceviche.
Ceviche. No, ceviche is nice.
Ceviche is
We
definitely
also
nice.
have ceviche.
Potatoes
You
come
know
from Idaho.
what was
Everybody
fun?
knows that. No disrespect to Idaho, but no, don't think so.
So actually, when I went to Turkey, I was invited to this dinner from Meteora, and I was like, "Yeah, I can't wait." It was the first day, so I was like, "Yeah, I can't wait to try some Turkish food." And the first dish was like ceviche. I was like, "Come on!"
Typical
Like,
Turkish.
yeah, I was like, "I don't think this is typical." Like, what is going on?
So is the staking for play gonna be 15% reward? Technically, you might want to call that APR more than APY, but we're not 100% decided on that yet. But it's clear that there is going to be something, and it might be higher or lower, or exactly that. So the default would be to keep it at 15%. This, I think, I understand where you're going, CLI. You can extend the staking period for the tokens who's giving the VIP another option for not changing the price or leveling up through VIP. So essentially, that would mean that so long as you kind of renew, you could basically restake for another year, and then you would keep that, and then we would basically just trace what was the staking requirement when you first staked, right? So this could be an option. It adds a little bit of complexity in the implementation, but that's not a major issue, I believe. Could be a thing.
Honeycrisp apples. What is that?
Honeycrisp is a apple variety, and I once tried one, I believe, and I think it was one of the worst Apple experiences that I've had.
Oh,
I think it was Honeycrisp.
We have a lot of Honeycrisp apples here. They are tasty.
Yeah, no.
I don't actually like the apples that are too red. I dislike the flavor.
That is something that I miss in Portugal, is the variety and the taste of the apples. In Germany, there are so many really nice, good, old, acidic, balanced apple varieties. And they also grow more acidic, obviously, in Germany than they do here in Portugal. And in Portugal, all the apples are just sweet. They're just so sweet. And I'm like, so where's the acidity, right? They make a lot. They make really good wines. The wine, they get the acidity into the wine, but they're not able to get the acidity to the apples. It's horrible. I miss apples.
I remember how I was talking with Webby, and he said that sometimes they joke about how we don't have much stuff to talk about before announcing play, so that we talk about random stuff. But here we are, very close to launching play, and we're still talking about apples and random stuff.
Gotta talk about the good stuff. Potatoes come from under the ground. I have Minnesota potatoes there. They're good too. Cool. Gotta try Minnesota and Idaho potatoes.
Oh, really? An apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Not for mass bass.
It was implemented 2 or 3 seasons ago, man. I think 3.
What is this about?
The VIP 7 getting a whale and a shark vision. Previously, they only get a whale.
What will be the first utility of PlayMind, of the Play token, that would prevent users from dumping it right after the airdrop, except some traders who would do it no matter what? So we're being very cautious and conscious about this. Yeah, I don't want to lay out too many details here yet, but it will not be possible to basically just tank the token price right away or whatever. And there's going to be utility. So the first thing that will be there is staking. right? So staking will move from having to use Wombat to having to use Play. So if you want to retain your VIP levels, at some point you will have to stake Play, right? And that's going to be like, we're thinking about a 2-week or so grace period, right? Don't quote me on the 2 weeks, but something like that, order of magnitude. And that's going to be the kind of the major one, right? And then everything else will be announcing. So obviously, shop will be a thing, right? There will be NFT drops and whatnot for Wombat, for Play, of course. So I think that's already quite a bunch of utility. But then we can time further distribution of tokens with new products, new launches and stuff.
Solar, what's your thoughts on the rope suggestion in Discord? Yes, Matt sent it to me. I like it overall. We will have to change it a little bit because I don't like the idea of having extra slots.
Could you rehash what the suggestion was?
So they will like another extra slot just for the items that help with the rope meters. Okay. So overall, we can find a way because you always try to take the best out of the items. But I don't like the idea of, for example, adding extra slots for everything because it doesn't make sense. Like 2 boots or 2 charms, it doesn't make sense in theory to equipping a Wombat. So
yeah, but I get it because right now everyone would have to switch from whenever they claim their
yes,
achievements.
That's the issue.
They do that anyway in a sense, right? So it's not really competitive to.
So maybe we could create something like an Orf, and then we will be able to add a slot for the Orf along with an extra mechanic, so people have a choice. But that will be my take at the moment.
All right. CLI is suggesting, Adrian, you need to find and try the 100 years apple trees fruits, the best in all of the world, I believe, growing in south of Albania. Totally going to Albania.
Awesome. Hi, Gan. Sorry, really late this week. Dude, the stream is almost over. You come for the giveaway.
Sure, kept up. No, I think this is just a joke.
So all in all, Play is coming.
Definitely.
That is the stream.
Will Wombat token have any use after Play is launched? So from a utility perspective, as soon as the utility has been moved to Play, Wombat will not have utility. From all other perspectives, we're open to discuss, right? But right, so also from a kind of pay attention to how you need to hold them and whatever to get airdrops and stuff.
We're deploying the fix today, Janekos. Yes, people told us about it. We had the fix, the potential fix ready on Friday, but we didn't really want to mess with the code on a weekend. So today we're deploying the changes, testing them, and if everything is good, then they will start working.
Speedworks currently searching employees. Yeah. In general, we always look for people, but there will be a lot of new postings, job postings, in the upcoming, I would say, probably weeks, because there's a lot of stuff that we need to build, and a lot of people that we will need for that. So, if you want to apply, Robert, go ahead. Not sure if you answered that earlier. Does Play become an enabler for Dungeon Worlds in any way? Potentially, yes. So if we all do well, right, then if the entire ecosystem, obviously one of the problems in the past has been that the Wombat token has been down, right? So that's why we switched to rewards and so on, right? So there's definitely always an impact on that when it comes to token performance. Who like how well that performs? That will always have an impact on how much we can do, right? Or what we can do. At the same time, I think there is also from a kind of content perspective, there's an angle for Dungeon Worlds inside of Playmind. So that's definitely going to be a thing. So the play token will definitely be an enabler in one way or another for Dungeon Worlds. Just stake Wombat to get VIP 5 status. Will I still be able to be VIP 5 after we change to play? So yes, that's the general idea that if you've been level 5, then you should be able to retain your VIP level 5 status, right? At least in the beginning.
I guess.
Wombat token could be Dungeon Worlds token. Maybe.
I guess we can start with the.
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant with kind of content perspective. Maybe I wasn't specific enough, but it's a little bit early to say too much on this. But that can be a thing, right? That we enable like tech that we build for Playmind enables us to release parts or the whole thing of Dungeon Worlds. I wouldn't neglect that.
That gasp. That was deep. That gasp.
Twitchy text.
Twitchy.
That's what you suggested, right?
Yes.
People are already in because it took ages to load. So I didn't manage to change the join command. So anyway, just type !play.
So I'm going to rob a and I will get VIP 7. Best of luck, I guess.
Rising Dragons. I had a question about Well of Wealth and Bird Formation earlier. What was the question?
That overall, we should remove the Bird Formation and add something else.
Okay.
Nice suggestion. Yeah.
Yeah, we used to kind of rotate them, right? Originally it was the Cashmere, then it was the Tier, and now it's the bird. So there's a lot of them. So what's going on with Bitcoin? Typically when we're on stream, it goes up, but today it's like...
We need to rest. Give it some time. Thursday is going to be a good day. You know why?
Thursday?
Yes. In theory, that's when Putin and Zelensky are meeting in Istanbul.
Oh.
I hope they can be friends.
No.
Why?
Do you not know the history?
What?
Did you not pay attention?
Why can't we be friends?
Yeah, no, it's not that easy. What? Still? Because Pop Paragon told me that this should be working now. That pooping should be working. Okay, Thursday they meet, but that doesn't mean that anything will come out of that immediately. And then, yeah, I don't know. It's like...
Oh, shit. I forgot you were sharing your screen.
Yeah, so what you're doing now? Is that your dog?
Yeah, this is Trump, and this is Zelensky, and this is Putin. And they have to kiss.
Yeah.
That's what is going to happen.
Yeah, no, this is... yeah, no.
Oh. It's like
Um,
friends. Oh, you can share your screen again now. Ah, no, wait, I can do it. Oh, technology.
technology.
Good tech.
Yeah, Thursday could be a doomsday. Doomsday also. Yeah, you don't
No,
know,
we
right?
gotta be positive.
Any day can be doomsday nowadays,
We
right?
gotta be positive. If they are
Everything,
meeting, it's because they are both tired.
everything can happen any day, essentially. Everything can go to massive highs or to absolute crap within one day. That's what we should have learned in the past few months
If the market
or
has
years.
teach me anything, it's that. But I gotta be positive. Like I think this is going to go well. You're going to be friends, and there's going to be a picture of them shaking hands, and the market will react well to it.
Shaking hands. Okay.
Yes, like friends.
Yeah. Keep your optimism. That's what I can say. Your dog is saying that as well.
My dog is happy. Yes. I don't know how he got out. Like I closed the door. I guess he used the window.
Yeah, we have this. It's funny. Sometimes we have our neighbor's cat coming to us, right? And she basically lives with us now, although she's not ours. She's our neighbor's. And we spoke with them, and they're fine, right? They're like, okay, and we're giving her food, and she chooses her place to sleep, but she always wants to come inside, and I have an allergy, so I don't want her to come inside. But she has ways of sneaking into the house. It's unbelievable, and we have no idea how and when she came in sometimes. And then you just want to go to bed, and she's lying on the bed. And it's like, how did you come in here? And a few days back, she was basically just in the house in the morning, right? So the door was not close to the sleeping room, and she just snuck in. I was like, why is the door moving? And so it's a cat. It's so crazy.
Cats are awesome. You should get a cat.
Did you not listen? I'm allergic.
You should get a cat.
Yes.
Did I miss something? Adrian is allergic to cats.
So don't gift cats to me. Like bonsai kittens. You're too young to remember that. That was a thing. Who of you remembers bonsai kittens? Oh, that was
What is
horrible.
that?
That was giving me real how to say it? I wanted to throw up back in the day. Because they had these pictures of kittens basically being squeezed into like glasses, because they said their bones are still flexible, so they will adopt the shape of the glass of the jar, essentially. So you can keep them in there, and they will grow, and then their bones and their entire posture will basically adapt that. This was like, and it ended up being a hoax back in the day. But it was like, I think even the FBI was in on that, because then nobody knew. I think, when was that? 90 something.
I promise you, I don't know what else to do, Vince. Let me check once more. What was the name of the collection? There's this collection that for some reason within the sheet and everything we have, it is well configured, but it doesn't give the resources. I mean, it doesn't have a material assigned.
Flintality, yes, like the Williams burner. So I can briefly show this. So they had like these kinds of pictures where they were showing. So they're like how they're putting the kittens inside, right? And then that they're squeezed into these jars, so that they would adopt the shape of the jar. And there was this website, Bonsai Kittens, and stuff. And this was, oof. Right. So I don't know when that was. It's been a while. Okay. When was that? Does anybody knows? 2000. Around 2000, I guess. Okay.
System barking.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be put in a jar. Okay, so let's start this round of Twitchy Tides. We've got 47 players. That's more than 42, so that's never bad. We'll do as always. Top 5 players will get a promo box, and the top player with a wombat. Who do we have with a wombat installed? Like, why can't I scroll better than like this? So I know we have Crypto Infinity, we have Spinach Vince, we have Muchat Witcher. And I want to see some pooping, please, because I want to see if it works. Okay, please do poop. We'll do a slower round. We'll go for normal. Kids are home. You can hear them. And so I want to see some pooping action, please.
Yes,
okay, let's go. I want to see if it works.
I don't know.
Oh, Janice has one as well. Nice.
The collection is well configured.
So you messed up the code.
Yeah, over the Excel sheet. I'll change the material. Maybe that might do the trick.
Have you refreshed, like the press the button?
Yes, I mean, I don't know what else. I deleted. I removed the collection and I included it again, and nothing.
So this one's just stuck. I thought that was the poop, but it's just stuck. So pooping isn't working, it seems.
Can you try now, Vince?
Try what? Try pooping.
Try pooping. He knows what I'm talking about.
I know.
Is it Shinpaichi? What does it mean?
Ask Shinpaichi.
Pedro. Guys, who do you think that will win a 1v1? Pedro or me in League of Legends?
This discussion again. Okay, pooping isn't working.
Pedro wasn't around the last time to discuss about this. That's why I have to talk about it again.
The answer.
I think that's the answer.
So there we go. We have a winner, and it's Muchat Witcher, who happens to have a gold wombat. Nice. That's very representative. And then we have Swim Dodge Vince in 4th, and we have Pedro 6th. So a lot of wombats doing really well this time around. Okay. Congrats and GG's.
Congratulations, guys.
Man, so Vince, effectively that means that Muchat Witcher will get 2.
Why can't we be friends? Now I have this song in my head.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a main support, so my job in 1v1 is to be slapped in the face. Happens. I don't know how to play support. Usually when I get out of field support, I play Lux. And I go around the map trying to kill someone.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
people play League of Legends.
Yeah, I know. I've never ever played it.
No, actually, you shouldn't. I wouldn't wish that to my worst enemy to be addicted with League of Legends.
Are you
It's evil.
addicted, or are you just I play
I
every
think
once
I
in a while?
was addicted when I was a kid.
The kid,
Yes,
like 5.
like 16 when I was a teenager.
Okay. Because my kids are kids, right? And
No,
so
when I
my
was a kid, I played Minecraft.
well, yeah, Minecraft was already around by the time, yeah, when you were a kid.
I mean, when I was 10 or 11, yes.
Yeah.
Started playing since the 1.6, 1.4 update. Never knew. Teenager.
Well, they are always kids because they're somebody's parents' kids, right? So
Yes.
kids will remain kids to their parents forever. But yeah. Yeah.
Do you know who is Notch?
Who's Notch?
Yes.
No.
He is the creator of Minecraft.
Ah, I recently there was an article that I came across about him that he's like, I don't know, depressed or whatever,
He's
and that he's
depressed right now, yeah. But
uh,
what happened is that when I was a kid slash teenager, I was like 11 or 12. My birthday was coming, and I was about to host a LAN party with friends. But there were rumors of the new update of Minecraft coming. So I don't know how I did it, but I sent an email to Notch asking him when is the update coming because I wanted to have a party with my friends, and he actually replied to me with the date.
back when it was a one-man show.
Back when it was like a one-man show.
Who else would have replied, right?
Yeah, true. That was awesome. Like, I mean, he took the time to reply to a kid.
Maybe he didn't know that you were a kid.
No, I told him that it was about to be my 12th birthday, 11, I don't remember.
Nice. All right, folks. You've got no more questions, it seems. That's good. We answered everything. Everybody's like super hyped up. Oh, now Rising Dragons is coming up with questions.
Another question.
Okay,
No.
let's answer this one. And meanwhile, I would suggest that you bring up your suggestions for who we are going to rate.
What was the last thing Santiago worked on related to Dungeon Master? You can go six 6 days behind, 5 to 6 days, and you will have the seasonal items. We're also working on leaks, so right now in the queue it is leaks.
So Kevin Kev has been mentioning this, and I think
Thanks
it
for
was
the
also
palette
Kevin
one
Kev.
Bisham in the shop. When you have time, can you look at the electricity one Bisham?
I think it was also Kevin Kev bringing up that the floor price for electricity one Basham has gone up to
It's too high. I think it was
72 wax. This is crazy.
Man, Beans, you never replied. Like, you told me the issue persisted and then you never replied. Yeah, we can take a look into an electricity combination blend this season.
Anytime. Or put it in a shop for like 7 million wombat or something like that, or 8
I mean, if you
800
have 1
million
million
pool.
uranium, I can put it in the shop.
Do it after this other thing launches.
Who are we going to raid? Who's
Yeah,
live?
who are we going to raid?
Can we raid?
Do it. Say it.
I don't know.
It's funny. There's a non-stop stream until 1 million, 24/7, uptime 1 hour 50 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, so it's working a while. I see Quadrels.
Let's read
Quadrels
Quadrel.
is live. Playing Raven Quest. Have you played Raven Quest? Santiago?
Never. Should I?
I don't know. It seems like a lot of people are playing it on stream, at least. So might be worth considering. Because it seems like it's a good game. So yeah, have a great week, you too, Beantown Bob. But still, I wanna. So are we rating Quadrel?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, now we're rating Quadrel. So have fun with Quadrel. Have fun with all the things that are going to happen this week.
What is going to happen?
Until we meet again, there's going to be a lot of exciting stuff happening. Like, I guess
Like
Putin
Thursday.
Putin and Zelensky meeting. Maybe some other things are going to happen as well.
Maybe Trump is going to announce the deal.
Well, that happened already, and this is, I
But
think,
they announced they made substantial progress and yada yada.
No, but they announced the actual deal that they are cutting tariffs by 110% on each side for 90 days.
Is it working? Oh my god. So my developer did stuff while I was streaming. That's nice.
Cool.
No, I don't know. Let me check. Is that working really? That's good.
Mythic boost for speed.
With the gem.
Okay.
With the gem.
Oh yeah.
But is it working? Maddie, can you confirm?
Maddie just wrote it. So believe them. Believe people when they tell you something. No.
No. Oh.
So it's so maybe it's not working.
Yeah, why do you do this to me?
It's not working. Okay.
You say it's working.
All right, folks. Have a good week, all of you. Stay hyped and positive and super excited. And see you soon. See you very soon.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
I hope today doesn't. I wish.
It's too late. We've done the raid already.
Oh, yikes. Are you down for a 5-minute call?
Hang on a second.
Or are we still